So, I'm sure most of you guys can probably guess what I've got in this bag right here. Now, I just got back from an event in Toronto where Asus unveiled the ROG Xbox Ally X. Now, this is the successor to the current Ally X, if you know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially a Windows handheld gaming PC and the second iteration since the original. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this right out of the way. Now, this is not sponsored by any means. This was given to me by Asus as a sample unit to test it out and share my experience with you guys. So we're gonna be doing that in today's video. I'm gonna be giving you guys my first impression and pretty much going over all of the new features and everything to expect from this. Now, the biggest misconception that I've noticed so far about this device is that a lot of people are expecting it to act like an Xbox, exactly like an Xbox. They're thinking that this thing is the handheld version of an Xbox. Like you can play all of your Xbox games on it and do all of that, but not really. It's not exactly a console. It's essentially running on Windows still, but something that's now more optimized for console experience or console users. So you've got more optimizations for it, but it's still running on Windows. So you should expect to get or deal with things that come with Windows still with this device. But it's a great thing that they're doing right here with this thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it is. The biggest thing that most people are talking about with this is the evolution in how it feels to game with it. So ergonomics. So now we've got haptics with the triggers and we've got better grips and all of that. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and check out the new ROG Xbox Ally X. As you can already see, we've got the Xbox logo and we've got the Asus ROG logo on here, and you can tell the box is different than last year's. It's not that much different. It looks pretty similar to what you'd get with the Xbox or the regular Ally X. Wow. Okay, so a lot of green here. Well, of course, to represent Xbox, because this is an Xbox collaborated product. Of course, the first thing you come across is kind of a quick guide on how to charge and power it on. So that's the first thing you're gonna wanna know to use the device. So we take that off and you see the Xbox ROG Ally X. First thing you notice here is the ergonomics. This thing feels amazing to hold on to. Like if you're familiar with an Xbox controller, then you would love this. It feels great in the hands, great to hold. And for a handheld device, that's top tier. That's something that's very important. Something that I look forward to, actually put into the test on this thing. Over here, we've got the 65 watts charging adapter, which you also get with the Ally X. This is a case that was designed specifically for the Xbox Ally X. So I don't know what they mean by 2-in-1. So it might be a stand as well as, so it says right there that it's an integrated stand and also storage. So that's pretty cool there. Let's see what it looks like. I'm not gonna waste any more time and I'm gonna take this thing out. So this bag was designed in collaboration between Xbox and of course Asus. And as you can see, it's multifunctional, so 2-in-1. It acts as both a stand as well as a travel case. So you wanna bring this thing around, then you wanna get something like this. I don't know if there's any third-party companies making them right now, like making cases for this, because considering it's fairly new, but with this case, I think there's a lot of potential here. Like I like the fact that there's a little pouch on the back here for carrying extra accessories, because usually with these kinds of cases, you never get any consideration for extra accessories, AirPods or gaming AirPods, whatever, power bank, stuff like that can fit in here now. So an extra pouch that is fully detachable. Yeah, that is one of my favorite features of this thing already, and I like the fact that it also doubles as a stand for your Ally X, or ROG Ally X in this case. So this thing right here doubles as a Velcro to hold the device in place as well as to prop it up, as you can see right there. So super cool. I like that, as a feature for a bag. Make it multifunctional. Don't make it just, have one feature, one little thing that it can do and be this big. So when you travel with this now, you have multiple ways that you can use it besides just for storage and transportation. Just so you know, this does not come with the ROG Ally X if you do decide to pick it up. So it's a separate purchase as an accessory to the device. But I think it's a pretty good one, because usually when manufacturers make these bags, it just feels like, there's no love given to it. Like it just feels like they're not up to par with what you get from third parties. Like, they put in more love into those devices or into those accessories for these devices that you just go looking directly at them. But right now, I'm really loving this bag right here. They've really re-engineered this whole thing and directed focus towards comfort and, you know, long sessions and just being able to travel and use this thing on the go comfortably. That's something that I cannot overstate how important it is. Very important with these handheld PCs. And some of them are absolutely ridiculous when it comes to ergonomics. Like, it's just terrible. And you're wondering, why would you even want to bring this thing around with you? Why would you want to use this thing? Why not just go ahead and grab a laptop? But they've made that top priority with this collaboration with Xbox. As you guys can see, it looks like a controller has been merged with a handheld device here to create the ROG Xbox Ally X. So it's been modeled after like the Xbox controller. So if you're familiar with that, this is going to feel just like you're right at home. So you have the contoured grips right here, and then you've got the textured feel right at the back on the grips as well. So very comfortable feeling right now. Like, it just sits comfortably right there. So it's heavier than the Ally X, but when you really look at it and the way it's balanced and the way the weight has been distributed, this thing feels amazing in the hand. I feel like you can game on it for hours without feeling, you know, that feel of being cramped. Your fingers are getting tired, you hold it. I feel like this is gonna be fun to game on, like easier to game on longer for long sessions. Compared to the Ally X, it's amazing how comfortable this thing feels. It feels like you're using an Xbox controller. That's literally how this thing feels. You've got impulse triggers now as well, so only games are supported, of course, but if a game supports it, you're going to get vibrations from the trigger buttons. That's something you do not get with the Ally X. You've also got an Xbox button here, which is going to be for pulling up the Xbox game bar. We're gonna see more on that once this thing is powered on. When you take a look at it right next to the original Ally X, what you'll notice first is how much more ergonomic this looks. Not even feels, like just the way, you know, those grips, those handles feel or look, you can already tell that it's going to be much better ergonomics with this device. The back side is pretty much the same. It's a bit thicker on the ROG Xbox Ally X than on the original. You've also got a new Xbox button here versus not having it on this guy. And you've got better X, A, B, and Y buttons. So they travel better and they feel better than what you get with this guy. I mean, it's not very noticeable, but I mean, I feel like I can tell that it's there. When you also take a look at the triggers and the bumpers, you can tell that there's slight differences. This is much bigger. It feels like it's much better feeling. So they've added haptics to the triggers as well. So if you guys are looking for that vibrational feeling that you get with your Xbox controllers, then you're going to be getting that with the ROG Xbox Ally X. Besides those things, it pretty much looks the same from the outside. Booting up the ROG Xbox Ally X drops you straight into the new Xbox full screen experience right off the rip. It looks console inspired, but it's still running full Windows 11 underneath all of that. It replaces the traditional desktop that we're used to with a unified launcher that brings together Game Pass, Steam, and other PC platforms, all fully navigable using the joysticks. Now, even though it looks and feels like a full Xbox interface, this is not a true handheld Xbox console. You can't play titles downloaded directly to your home Xbox on this, guys. Only Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox PC games work on it. It does offer remote and cloud gameplay, so you can still access your games downloaded to your home console, but it has to be wirelessly. The interface itself feels very familiar, almost like navigating the Xbox app dashboard on a different device, but it's much smoother and more optimized for handheld use. Another one of my favorite additions is the new game rating system, similar to what you'd find on the Steam Deck. There's also a new swipe up gesture for quickly switching between apps, which makes the overall experience feel more fluid and console-like. You do not get this with the ROG Ally X. You can access your game library, chat, and settings through the Xbox game bar on both devices, which now opens with the new dedicated Xbox button. That same button also brings up Command Center, where you'll find a redesigned TDP widget for changing power modes instantly without cycling through menus. I hated always having to cycle through each and every single TDP or mode to get to the one that I'm looking for. Then there's Gaming Pilot. It's a new AI-powered assistant that takes advantage of the onboard AI NPU to provide real-time tips, performance suggestions, and even voice commands. Now, keep in mind that this updated Xbox UI and all of its features will be available on current Ally devices. So if you have one, do not worry, you'll get that. Although it won't be able to take full advantage of the Xbox Ally X's redesigned hardware. So you don't have an Xbox button, for example. The display used here is still a 7-inch 1080p IPS panel, running at 120 Hz with 500 nits of brightness and FreeSync Premium. Now, I know a lot of people wish this thing was OLED, and that includes me. For the price that it's going for, I say that, you know, we should have probably gotten OLED on this guy, at least for to really take it to that next level. But it doesn't come with it, and it has the same specs as the Ally X. So if you're wondering or if you're thinking about it, it doesn't come with it. It does still use Corning Gorilla Glass Victus and DXC anti-reflection coating, which should help cut down on glare and improve scratch resistance. Now, inside this thing is AMD's new Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme, an 8-core, 16-thread processor with RDNA 3.5 graphics, and for the first time, a built-in AI NPU. Now, this does not directly boost FPS in most current titles, but it does open the door for smarter upscaling, AI-driven noise reduction, improved frame gen, and more advanced features down the line. When plugged in, the ROG Xbox Ally X also now offers a higher turbo mode TDP, pushing up to 35 watts compared to 30 watts on last year's Ally X. And that extra headroom is definitely noticeable in gameplay performance, although you have to be plugged in to enjoy it. Even in silent and performance modes, it's more efficient overall thanks to the new architecture, although do not expect a massive generational leap in performance over the Ally X. It's still paired with 24 gigabytes of RAM, so multitasking and high resolution textures still run just as smoothly. And it also comes with the same 1 terabyte of SSD, although it's upgradable just like last year as well. Now, as for battery capacity, we're still at the same 80 watt-hour battery, but thanks to the new Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme chip and the lighter overhead from the new Xbox full screen experience, it should run a bit more efficiently overall. Fingers crossed. I mean, I haven't really tested that one out. I haven't had it that long, enough to get a solid average for battery drain in everyday use. And to be fair, battery life of these handhelds very heavily depend on things like screen brightness, frame rates, and games that each individual plays. Now, from my early testing, I'd say expect around 2 hours for AAA gaming at 120 Hz, or close to 4 hours with lighter titles like indies and whatnot. Connectivity remains mostly unchanged from the Ally X here, with Thunderbolt 4, USB-C 3.2, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.4, and a micro SD slot for storage expansion. Compared to the 2024 ROG Ally X, this Xbox edition clearly focuses on the user experience rather than just raw power. Now, with better ergonomics, smarter AI features, and a pretty solid Xbox integration, it finally feels like the handheld the original Ally was meant to be. I mean, it can definitely still be improved upon, and I know that it will keep getting better. Now, if you want to see more on the topic of handheld gaming, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I've got some more breakdowns coming along. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.